How big of a difference would Worley running have on this team? I still say that's a bigger long-term question. Is this your system, and do you have a quarterback to run it? Short-term with this O-line, I think we're complaining about the icing when the cake is really crummy.
1 or 2 times is not enough. You need to have him in a ball game, pull the ball out and run it 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5, to keep the defensive line honest.
And I'm not going to get him hit that many times. He's already getting killed.
Hey, here's the thing.
Slide.
But
that sounds good, Bobby. But come on.
Here's the thing.
You want Peterman out there?
I mean, Peterman would be okay at right now. Right now, he's the experience factor and everything, and being, he hadn't played that much, but he would be okay if, he had the, time to play, and hopefully he'll do that against.
Okay, back to the zone read. I don't think that there's. To me, your offense isn't struggling because Worley isn't keeping it more. Long term, bigger issue with this offensive line. I'm enjoying my McCafe. Yeah. That's not the biggest issue in my book. Am I wrong?
No, I think it's a circular argument. I think if you're going to run the zone read, the quarterback has to keep the ball, to keep that defensive end honest, because you're not blocking him, you're trying to influence him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But by the time it comes all the way back around, it's an offensive line that's just not very good. And Justin Worley keeping the ball is not going to be as big of a threat as if you had Tony Robinson keeping the ball, or Sterling Hinton keeping the ball,
or Josh Dobbs,
or Bobby Scott keeping the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about the Bobby Scott now too.
No, I'm just talking about even if Worley keeps it, he gets 4 yards, he gets 3 yards. He also gets hit.
Yes.
And let me tell you, what is the downside? Okay, so he gets 4 yards, he gets 3 yards, he gets hurt, and he goes out again in another game, or goes out for 2 games. Now what?
Yep.
Did that 4 yards help you go 4-1? Not a chance. But if he goes hurt, you can count up 2 or 3 more losses and not be in games and get blown out by a lot. So which one do you want? I mean, it's an insurance thing right now.
Yes.
Which has more risk and reward? Especially him getting hit more and getting hurt has got a lot higher risk and less reward than the other.
Especially if you think you're going to redshirt Josh Dobbs. If he's your future and you don't want to blow that, then you got to protect Worley, I think. Sterling, your thoughts on the zone read deal?
My whole thing is, whether it's zone read or any type of offensive set, diversification puts pressure on the defense. Mm-hmm. I would like to see us put a couple more packages in for our running back coming out of the backfield and catching more passes other than just a screen. I know we've got it in our playbook. We've got to bring it out there. Yesterday, bottom line, in my heart, we should have won. We should have won. I was hurt. Yep. I sat still at the stadium for 15 minutes. But today's a new day. Saturday's a new game. In the words of Belichick, we're on to Chattanooga.
Well, yeah, we're on to Cincinnati. That's a perfect example, though. Somebody tweeted me today and said, well, what about this guy can't coach him up? What about guys like Saban and Belichick that can coach him up? Watch the Patriots tonight. They had 6 different offensive line rotations last week alone. 3 centers in 4 weeks. Sometimes it's not, you just don't have the talent to coach up. I mean, that's the problem. Not even Belichick. Ooh, not even he can coach him up all the time. How many Alabama fans today do you think are walking around saying, boy, Saban coached us up against Ole Miss? I mean, you can't coach them up every week.
Every time it's hard to do.
And in some areas, when your whole offensive line is new together, that's hard to coach up.
And guess what? There's some fans in Alabama saying, time to fire Saban. He's on the way down right now. Yeah. And I guarantee it, they're there. They're there.
He's past that little
plateau. He's
going to find even more. Day down, go a little bit farther south to Louisiana. Then you'll really find
Les Miles go to Michigan. That's what they're saying. And the thing is, down there, anybody that's saying, well, that's silly, calm down, don't call for Saban's head, they're getting, how dare you talk down to the fans? It's like, well, it's not all fans. The vast majority of fans are great. The ones who pull their hair out after every loss and get mad because they ramped up their own expectations higher than anybody in the media told them to, that's on them. To me, I think the vast majority of people out there understand where this program is. And I think they were hurt yesterday. I think they were disappointed, which I think is fair. You should have won that game.
Should have won yesterday.
But that wasn't a shocker that you lost. You didn't lose to a team with wildly inferior talent.
Well, this is how I see it for the rest of the last word. A lot of shakeup in the SEC yesterday. We're still in that mix. Man. Hey, man, we're still there. We got to play the game.
That's not the last word.
I'm excited. I'm excited about what we can do.
that's-
I'm excited what we can do. It is the last word. It is the last word.
All right, we'll let you
Absolutely.
in. That'll be the last
is
word.
the
We'll end
last
on a
word.
positive. Sterling Hinton, everybody. All right, thank you. We'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. on the Sports Source. Appreciate it each and every week.